On August 28th, the JTA Cooperative Credit Union Limited hosted its highly anticipated annual awards luncheon, honoring students, scholars, and schools for their exceptional achievements and commitment to education. The award ceremony was held at the Terra Nova Hotel, and it brought together educators, parents, students, and credit union members. The event awarded 3 distinct groups: 1 PEPI bursary recipients, students who excelled in the primary exit profile PEP examinations; 2 tertiary scholars. These are credit union members who have demonstrated outstanding academic performance at the tertiary level; and 3 distinguished schools, Greater Portmore Primary and Eltham Park Primary, 2025 winners of the Credit Union's Better Schools, Better Jamaica program. The guest speaker, Jermaine Johnson, roused the audience with his message. He used the opportunity to remind the audience, specifically the awardees, to use the support they are receiving wisely and to become reapers in the future. We want you to hear this important address and, as such, are sharing it with you. Enjoy.
Now, most persons, when they listen to my profile being presented, if they don't know that I'm a minister of the gospel, when they hear that part, they say, oh, we have a pastor. And when you get a pastor before lunchtime, they wonder if this is the point where we get filled with the Holy Spirit, especially after the song of meditation, by our beloved teacher, and we lock down the rest of the program. And in everything we give thanks. But one of the things, though, that I've learned in my years of public speaking is that a great speech is like a mini skirt. It must be long enough to cover this subject and short enough to create excitement. So simply put, we don't have to be long in order to be strong. Those in favor say hi. It is scared, and I knew that the hi would be that loud. So we get right into the punch of the matter. But I must say kudos to all the scholars, our PEP scholars and tertiary scholars who have qualified for this year's scholarship grants. Put your hands together for them. It's an excellent look. So for the Better Schools winners, and the scholars, we are very happy for your commendable work, for your outstanding performance. I know for the PEP now, it's a daunting moment as you get ready to transition to the higher level, but don't worry yourself, just keep a level head, and you will continue to succeed. And for those who are at the tertiary level, listen, man, it starts already, so you can only finish. Just keep pressing on. As I thought about the many things I could say to you collectively today, I remember that approximately 20 years ago, let me sound old, but I'm still a youth, I had the pleasure of representing Jamaica as one of 2 delegates to the Commonwealth Youth Parliament with over 52 countries in Brisbane, Australia. And one of the many world topics that we discussed was making poverty history. As I sat on my side of the house in the Queensland Parliament, listening to the postulations of doctors and lawyers, I heard about one common thread resonated throughout their speeches: the importance of education as a tool to empower young people to make their way out of poverty into prosperity. Don't read into the word prosperity. We still have to use our dictionaries in this season. When my time came to present, though it was not a Christian forum, I found such value in some biblical counsel that's found in Leviticus 19:9 and 10 that I couldn't resist the urge of using that inspiration to bring a difference in that presentation and environment. When I stood, I recall saying, it was April of the year, I said, Mr. Speaker and members of this honorable house, Jermaine Johnson, Jamaica, as I sat on this side of the parliament listening to the various presentations, one common thread seems to be interwoven throughout the fabric of each presentation, and that is, for us to solve the poverty issue, we have to provide more institutions and opportunities for education, which sounds very good because it is the way forward. And they were like, However, might I propose to us that while we are teaching a man how to fish, it behooves us to give him some of our fish, lest he die before learning the lesson. And the whole place exploded. Then I quoted the text from Leviticus 19:9 and 10. When you reap the harvest of your field, somebody say of your field, you should not wholly glean the corners thereof. That means you must not try to take off every last grape of the vines, And you must not pick up the gleanings, but you must leave something for the poor and the stranger in the land. Then I went on to ask the pertinent question. Could it be with all of this facade acting as if we care about the demise of those who are in need that we've been gleaning the corners of our fields? And that was a punch. I could have dropped the mic there, though I wasn't holding it in my hand. And I launched off from there. It is evident that the JTA Credit Union isn't gleaning the corners of its fields. You have seen the importance of investing in young minds that they can achieve their goals. And at the end of the day, we are not doing our philanthropy a favor. We are doing ourselves a favor. Because when we position them for excellence, then we can retire in excellence. And that's we'll get back to that. You see, when we empower our young people by helping to supply the resources they need to gradually escalate the ladder of success, we are mitigating the social ills that will affect all of us as a society if we fail to do the same. I tell my young people, all the peppers, raise your hand, those who did pepper that are moving out to high school. Big up yourselves in the book, you're growing. Let me see the tertiary ones now. There are three critical ages that young people must bear in mind in Jamaica. We have the age of criminal responsibility, age 12, at which you may be charged for a crime. And then we have the age of consent. What's that one again? Age 16, at which age you are legally able to permit sex and medical treatment. Not that you must. And then we have the age of majority. What a pretty word. And that one is age 18, at which you are legally recognized as an adult. Which is why before you get to 18, we call you a what? Minor, because you're still in the minority. And isn't it a travesty, Mr. Adams, that they are permitted to have sex before they can drink rum? But that's for another conversation altogether. Surgery is there. Because they believe that the rum is so, not that I'm promoting rum drinking, I don't drink. But at 18, they say, don't touch this thing on them. Must be 18 and older to drink, but at 16, you're letting them go to have sex. What can go so? But the point I'm making is that, and I'm going to use a Jamaican proverb to bring it home, Mrs. Gascoigne. Have pitney said to have mama, but make them out so long. And when have mama said to have pitney, you are grow. She grow that grand over there, sir. You are grow. You will see. We have to bear in mind that when our young people get to the age of majority, they are adults. And when adulting starts to take place, a problem if you're not positioned to deal with the responsibilities. And some of us have been adults for so long, and I know we can't get the adulting adultably. The point of the matter is that we have a duty to help to prepare our youth for adulting, so that when they have transcended the age of majority, they would have been so positioned not to come and pounce upon us, but to come and thank us for investing in their futures so that they can be the great men and women they will become in the future. A big things are going on here today. This is not just an awards luncheon. We are sowing a seed today, the fruits of which will benefit us in the long run. And that is why we have to big up JTA Credit Union for what they are doing. Clap on yourself again. And we have to big up those who are the beneficiaries of this excellent initiative of investing in our nation's children. As inspirational ambassador for the Governor General's Program of Excellence, we always stand by the IBI mantra: use what is right with Jamaica to fix what is wrong with Jamaica. Let's say together: use what is right with Jamaica to fix what is wrong with Jamaica. And by virtue of what is happening here today, I am convinced all the more that the JTA Credit Union is a part of what is right with Jamaica. Clock that. Now, to you young people, it would be a travesty if I were just to applaud the credit union for the great work they are doing towards you and not give you a word for yourself as you get ready for the next level. I remember how excited I was, Malachi Cousins, when I was moving from the Fellowship Primary School to Titchfield High School back in the days after passing my common entrance. And all who never do common entrance are bad. Shall I feel out the room? All the common entrance people say, hello, I wish I that woman so look like so young anyway. Common entrance say, GSAT say, Pep say, and before that, they had reading, writing, and arithmetic. But the point is that I was so excited about the prospects of going to high school, coming to you tertiary once. But then at the same time, it was a grand opportunity. And today, in keeping with your journey, I want to empower you awardees to bear in mind the different kinds of mindset we have towards success. There are 4 of them. How many of them did I say, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls? 4 of them. We have sleepers, we have peepers, we have creepers, and we have reapers. If I can remember people's business, I can remember them. Tell me them, everybody. We have sleepers. Tell me one over here, so. Peepers. We have reapers, creepers, and then we have reapers. The sleepers have big dreams, but no plans. They are the ones who think success is going to automatically fall in their hands. So when sleepers begin to talk, you say, what a boy have ambition. My name is John Brown and I'm 12 years old and in the future I'd like to become a doctor. You say, that's my boy. Yeah. But what sleepers don't recognize is that that is just the beginning where you have a dream of all that you can become because God created us all for purpose. But what they don't realize is that Martin Luther King Jr., ironically, didn't just walk around saying, I have a dream. Interestingly enough, he lost many sleepless nights in order to work on his dreams. And what does that teach us? Dreams are dreamt when you are asleep. To make your dreams realities, you must wake up and smell the coffee or your dreams will become nightmares. So as you continue to the next level, perhaps students going into secondary school and continue to the next semester, tertiary students, don't you be a sleeper. Because if you're a sleeper, you'll never be able to mount a stage like this in the future and say to the audience, let me start that one. I like how Martin Luther King started. My dreams, you can't sing that one. This is the anthem of the sleepers. Nightmares, 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 nightmares. All of my dreams have become nightmares. Me can't buy food to eat. Me can't find clothes to wear. And of course, there would be no need going to the next slide, Miss Walker. Look at me now. Look at what? All those who will be sleepers, raise their hands. I thought so. Then we have the peepers. The peepers are the grand spectators of excellence around them. They love to see the nice life, the finer things. When they look at the outfits, they say, hey, someone with them, the atty clothes there now. I want to make a lot of money so I can make a nice sheen hall. Hello, somebody. And when they look, they say, okay, Ted Baker, and them the nice things they want. People say, like Mr. Adams' car, but when I put on some 19-inch rims for him, I don't know him drive, but just pull off the one there. And I want a nice house just like that. They love the fine things of life. But they forget that while observing the successes of others, what belongs to another man doesn't belong to them. That is why some people become covetous and they begin to chop the line and to cut down others to get what they have worked hard for. But everybody has to work for his own. It is okay to be inspired and to admire what others have achieved, but each man must work for himself. Those in favor say aye. So as you continue, I know that school, both at the high school level and the tertiary level, is no walk in the park. So I'm not here to make it look like it's a drink of water. I've been there, and many of us have been there, done that, and continue to go there. It can be a real pain in the brain. Get back here. That's where the studies take place. But if you think schoolwork hard, try hard life. When you can't buy food for them, you can't visit a proper doctor, you can't buy clothes, you have to walk and sponge, and if you sponge too long, it's on mattress. And then now the favorite hashtag on Instagram and TikTok, the struggle is real. Have students transitioning? The struggles have always been real. That is why your commitment to excellence as you carry on your educational journey must remain real. Because whether or not you are prepared for the future is prepared for you. And the young people nowadays who don't clap, they do a little thing like this, clock it. In other words, pay attention to that important piece of detail. You see that young one over there start clacking, show them again. Just like that. Oh, wow, you're going to do the double in. Then now for the tertiary ones, boy, college life will mash up your life like Nico. With all the challenges that you face along the way. And one of the big challenges that we continue to face as people of Jamaica is the inability to afford a tertiary education. But with institutions like JTA Credit Union, it is being made possible. Collegiates, you clap this time. All of the tertiary one. Where are you? Tertiary, where are you? Let me show you. Oh, man, look the wrong place all along. You want to look young. It's all right. Yes, man, clap them. You do the clapping over at the table there. I remember when I entered the Northern Caribbean University, it was a real struggle. And amidst all my struggle, one day while on university orientation, I was crossing from the main campus to the Hyacinth Chen School of Nursing for the tour. And while crossing the pedestrian, my burdens got lighter, but not the right burden. The shoe button fell off. What was a brand new pair of shoes? I was so embarrassed. I just took it up and went home and I vexed with God. But through all of that, which I'll share another time, God used the stressing to bring me a blessing. And I discovered from that day that if it is God's will, it is God's will. Because God has his people everywhere and organizations like JTA Credit Union to invest in the purposes of his young people so that they can fulfill them. Come again and give it up for them. Yes, don't be a peeper because the resources have been allocated to you. Then we have the third category. We are getting there. The creepers. Creepers have potential, but they are too slow. They always believe that they have another time to get it right. But as the Chinese proverb says, do yesterday what you hope to accomplish tomorrow. And finally, we have the reapers. Growing up in Portland, my parents used to export bananas. Remember them days, anybody? So we say, Bournebrook Walk, Mr. Sewell and about what we did first. We'll tell them about the wharf. And we learned by spending some of our holidays on the farms, the 3 laws of farming. You reap what you sow, more than you sow, but later than you sow. So when a man wants corns, he doesn't plant gully beans. What does he plant? Corns. It's not magic, it is logic. Because you watch everybody, reap what you sow. And once he nurtures the corn, it will take some time for, if let's say plant some mango seed, for example. You want an East Indian mango tree, and you plant the seed. It will take some time for the cultivation of the roots, then the propagation of the shoots, and finally the manifestation of the fruits. It is a process. And in Jamaica, we say you must what? Trust the process. And all of us are stakeholders of the process. Not only the students themselves, but we have to provide the mentorship, the scholarship, and all the other good ships there to help them to reach leadership of their lives. And once you nurture that seed, water it, weed it out, and take good care of it, you can rest assured that one day in future, you will reap what you sow. You have demonstrated, awardees, that you understand the assignment. You have been sowing the seeds of success, and you have been reaping its rewards. Don't stop at this point. Be a true reaper. Reaper always operate with the end in mind. Align your actions with your aspirations. Don't allow the distractions of high school to take you off your course peppers. Keep focus on the prize and don't stop until you get to the top, because we want you to return in the future to be one of the guest speakers for this program. Tertiary students on your way out, don't stop until you get to the top, because we want you to do the same. So when they introduce you as a former beneficiary and you come up here as doctor this and lawyer what and teacher that, let me tell you, big things are going to go on in here. And you have a $1 million check to give back to. Hello? Those in favor say hi. It is scary. That's the reaper mentality. Because reapers don't reap to keep it for themselves. But in keeping with the analogy I shared in Australia with you at the beginning, they leave something for those who are behind. Because at the end of the day, as I bring it all together, if we don't position our young people to be reapers in life, then a few gleanings are going to live pan. And when they go out there and they cannot get anything more than minimum wage because they never get the empowerment and resources for tertiary qualification, they will get minimum remuneration. And currently, how much is it in the Jamaican situation? $64,000 per month. Let me spend it quickly and bring it all together. The average monthly rent is $50,000. One bedroom, no major vicinity, no amenity. You can't get it down in the stushes, all the way up in the bushes. And when you remove the 50 grand, you have $14,000 left, Mr. Nash. Hey, you know. And when you have the $14,000 left now, $300 come down for fear, $300 go back. That was $600 per day. And that's what, 630. That is $3,000 for the week, $12,000 for the month. Pep students, what a same thing. How much you have left, everybody? $2,000. You pay a part of the light bill and OJ pays the balance. And you have the $250 penalty as well. No water rate, no pay yet. Notice that's a major issue. No roll on, people smelling stink. No food, you're in a bad mood. And when you begin to slim down and say, Patsy, you look like you lose weight, so my child, yes, me watch my figure. I don't want to look big like Pastor JJ. Lie, you can't buy food from here. And then this is how we breed criminals. And don't get me wrong, because we have the white collar criminals too. But when a man has to struggle against his own survival, any car can't play. I used to be somebody up there. Because when the gangster give him the little food when he's hungry, even if I look at chicken, back and rice, and that nice, because we usually cook it a lot and still do. He's going to feel like he owes the gang his allegiance. So when they give him the gun and say, go angle this, go angle that, he might go angle and triangle it. So what we are doing here today, we are not just investing some money into a semester tuition or into a high school grad. No, we are investing in the well-being of Jamaica. So we want them to be a reaper. So in the future, we don't see them on TVJ being incarcerated, but on profile being celebrated. Come on, somebody. So when you are out there living the life because of the empowerment and the resources invested in you by the JTA Credit Union, in the future, you can roll back on this ends in your Mercedes Benz, come park it up in front of your family and friends, three-piece suit and Lambo boot. Yeah, man. And you come to the place and you say, that's a past recipient. And you feel good. And your parents, them just a kin teeth and show them what you're going to do from no parents. And if you're a young lady, you know you're going to roll into the place and you can't look hot in a Benz and you come so you know, you're going to show them say the investment was a worthy one. And you're in your nice, no shade of black Louis Vuitton pencil dress. Contrasted with some 4-inch future pink stilettos complemented by your older bag and your Chanel. Anybody knows what I'm talking about? And you can't look good and smell good. Not puss grandma. I said that is Yorkie and Valentino. You know? And you know a woman is never true dressing up until she attends the head. Not academics this time, the hairstyle. And if you don't like the natural one God has given you, because you have done so well with the investment done in you, guess what? You buy one nice HBO here belonging to others. And you know, if you come in on the cheap Remy Yaki, Cadicadan and Premium Yaki, Brazilian Frontal and Peruvian and Malaysian, and you put in little one over there, so that like Cranberry Crush and Ruby Red and Copper Sunset. And when you come at JTA, you go start shake your head and the place don't go again. Hello! It can happen, but you can't be a sleeper. You can't be a peeper. You can't be a creeper. What must you be? You must be a reaper. For you reap what you sow, more than you sow. But when? Later than you sow. It mash up a lot of young people's life because they want the instant gratification. But there's no overnight success sensation. Man, if you work through M1, and they say, what about the woman? They say that Jamaica say good girl fi have things. That's true, but good girl fi have them own things. So I'm delighted to see the females at the tertiary level positioning themselves and the females who are already professionals for all these years, setting the standards. And man, it's not an accomplishment, go achieve your own. That nobody can take advantage of you. So how do I bring it all together? Today's awards is a testament that Jamaica still has the potential of being a first-class nation in terms of academics and the quality of the young people that we have. You, JTA Credit Union, have helped to set them on the right pathway by helping to fertilize the seed of their purpose, which God has for them. I know the plans that I have for you, he says. Plans to prosper you, to give you a future and a hope. And we are happy for organizations like these who invest in your well-being. Make them proud. Make them know that it wasn't a waste. Make them feel happy and come back to give back when you are reaping the corners of your field. So the last analogy. A man was a great master builder. But because he was young, he didn't build his own house. He was still living in a rented apartment, knowing that he had all the time in the world, or so he thought, to build his mansion, his dream mansion. But then he got very sick, terminally ill, and had to opt to retire from his business sooner than planned. But he had a dilemma. He didn't save up enough money because the money was coming in such, quantities. He thought that he could always just floss, and another time he can cover his loss. But then one of his biggest clients asked him to do one more job for him. And despite his weak state, he decided to do it. The man begged him and said, I'm asking you, just do this final residential project for me. And after that, you can retire and you can get all the laborers you need to give you support because of the state of your health. The man decided to take on the work. But rather than maintaining his integrity, as he had done in times past, he decided to cut the edges to see what he could shave off here and there to keep more of the money for himself, charging the high price, but not passing it on in the labor and the quality of material and work. At the completion of the project, he called the client for the handover. The two of them met up at the house, and when he handed the client the key, he smiled and handed it back to the contractor and said, surprise, you have been one of my best workers all of these years. And when I learned of your demise, I looked at the fact that I have been very blessed and you have been a part of my blessing. So I wanted to build you this house that though you have to retire sooner than planned, at least you have a roof over your head as a master builder. And when he gave him the key, tears ran down his face because he didn't recognize that which he was doing shabbily, he was doing it for himself. Jamaica is that house that all of us as a people are building. And based on the kind of initiatives and investments we make in our young people will determine if in the future the house is going to pop down on us or it is going to stand strong so that when we retire, we can retire in comfort and security and style. Thank you very much, JTA Credit Union, for your investment in these young people and young people. Go forth as standard bearers and make us all proud by showing them that you're not a skipper, peeper, nor creeper, but you are a reaper. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.